And Mine Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. I had a great weekend. Good to be back. So please remember, I'm not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice, and none of the information provided in this video should ever be seen as a signal to buy or to sell. But we've got some interesting information for you today. So stay tuned, keep watching, and the alpha is about to arrive. So we look at the chart, first of all, the 1 hour chart on Gate.io, looking at SHX. And as we can see, we had a run up yesterday and then a slight pullback. Now we can see it's currently almost going into this FVG fair value gap here. I think we're probably going to pop down, probably mitigate that and then hit this order block around about 210. But look, things change, things happen, news comes out, and we could literally reverse. I always think, with such a small market cap, small money moves this. And if some big account decides, well, actually, I'm going to get involved, we could see another leg up. What we're seeing is these higher lows here, which is great. So hopefully we'll see an upward trend over the next couple of days with more and more news. So looking quite good. Now, here's the news. So there's me, Sunday afternoon, just kicking back. Thought I'd take a look, have a bit of a snooze, have a bit of a peruse of Arkham intelligence. You know how it is, just get nosy, look for a few wallets. That's what I do. So we can see here, just seen a wallet linked to the Stronghold SHX team wallet move 5.7 million USDC and just over 3 million ETH to FalconX in the last 4 days. Timing is wild, right after ETF chatter. Could this be prep for an SHX ETF? Now, you've got to remember, Falcon handled 30% of BTC's ETF creations last year. Now, stay with me. So hear me out. So FalconX ETF liquidity expertise plus Stronghold's real-time settlement tech could mean an SHX-based ETF. So in total, in this last month, I just checked through the whole lot. There's been $11 million of USDC, which could stabilize trading, and over 14 million Ethereum might back tokenized units. So what I want is your thoughts. What do you think? I know this might be pie in the sky for some people, but the taxes are there and we can see them just here. All this outflows, deposits to FalconX, and we know FalconX are a big player. Now, Stronghold Stellar's blockchain is an energy efficient, perfect for institutional appeal. If FalconX is staging custody for an SHX ETF, this could be a move to bridge DeFi and Wall Street. But is $26 million enough liquidity? My other counterpoint here is that the $26 million to FalconX might be just treasury management or DeFi pool funding. So ETF talk could be just noise, but still FalconX ETF track record makes it plausible. If SHX lands an ETF, it is literally a game changer for Stellar assets. So fast settlements plus rewards program could attract big money. FalconX deposits suggest prep, but let's watch for official word. Bullish if true. Now we talk about official word. Now I see this tweet from Strong SHX. And he also talked about, can an ETF be considered as a tier 1 listing? Now, there was talk with Tammy Camp saying, what would you consider a tier 1 listing? And obviously, we've seen all the transactions in regards to like Binance, Gemini, Coinbase, Bitstamp, who were bought out by Robinhood, Kraken, Uphold. So there's quite a few transactions leaving out and deposits into these wallets, sort of bi-directional as well. So building that liquidity. Now, he says here, it's speculation on his part, he'll admit. But as we know, Tammy once said to us, what do you understand by a tier 1? So it's hard not to at least entertain the possibility. Could a spot ETF in certain cases be just as significant as a tier 1 listing? Yes, they are fundamentally different. A traditional tier 1 implies a major crypto exchange, instant liquidity and direct exposure. A spot ETF, on the other hand, is a regulated vehicle where the asset is held in custody, but not directly traded by end user. Still, the parallels are hard to ignore. Both increase visibility, attract new audiences, and drive real demand for the asset. Both bring the project closer to institutional investors and strengthen trust in the long-term value. It may not be a listing in the conventional sense, but perhaps the label isn't what matters. It's where the asset begins to circulate and the visibility begins. That would be quite a gift to the community. Now, obviously, I've seen these transactions, looking at all this, but we saw the chattering last week from the team. this makes me think, are they again leading us somewhere? Are they sort of laying the crumbs for us to go look for? And this is what I do. I look on chain and see where these transactions are going, why they're going there. Obviously, the time scale, we don't know what that is. And we don't know whether it's just for liquidity or DeFi, whether that's for an ETF. We won't know. We can only use what we've got. But I'm sure, I always think that these projects like to lay it out there because they don't want to tell us, because effectively it could be insider trading. It's just not right for a project to start laying things on the line. And maybe there are NDAs as well, which they're not allowed to talk about. So we see this from Sean, the CTO of Stronghold SHX. And this was before I found all these transactions. And obviously, it's really, really intriguing. So let's have a listen to this.
What are spot ETFs, and why are they suddenly everywhere? US crypto futures ETFs have existed since October 2021, but they didn't generate nearly this level of attention. What's different now? Spot ETFs have changed the game completely. In early 2024, the SEC approved 11 Bitcoin spot ETFs. Not small players, but industry giants like Fidelity and BlackRock got the green light. Ether spot ETFs followed several months later in May 2024, and more cryptocurrencies are already under regulatory review. Let's zoom out for a second. What exactly is an ETF? An ETF, or exchange traded fund, is a financial product you can buy and sell on the stock market, just like a share of a stock. Some ETFs hold a mix of assets, but others focus on a single one, like Bitcoin or Ether. The key feature? Unlike mutual funds, which are priced just once a day, ETFs trade in real time during market hours. But not all ETFs are created equal, especially in crypto. The first wave of crypto ETFs were futures linked. Instead of holding actual Bitcoin or Ether, they tracked price movements through regulated futures contracts rather than holding the assets directly. That structure meant the ETF price didn't always perfectly track the actual cryptocurrency price. Spot ETFs fundamentally changed this equation. They're backed by actual cryptocurrency holdings, not derivatives. Through a creation-redemption mechanism with authorized participants, spot ETFs maintain prices closely aligned with the underlying cryptocurrency. Many of Wall Street's major institutions have effectively invited crypto into their inner sanctum. The same institutions that once dismissed blockchain as speculative are now building sophisticated products around it. This is belt and suspenders finance. Conservative, risk-averse institutions saying, clients want exposure to crypto, and us institutions are building the vehicles to deliver it. So what does this seismic shift mean for Stronghold? Let's be transparent. There is a broader transformation affecting the entire ecosystem, and that transformation aligns perfectly with one of our core values, expanding financial access. Why would someone invest in an ETF instead of directly holding cryptocurrency? Because it removes friction. If you already have a traditional brokerage account, that's one less system to learn. Tax reporting will be more straightforward for many investors, and the regulatory oversight provides institutional confidence. That's exactly the kind of bridge Stronghold builds, connecting legacy systems to emerging technologies, bridging the financially excluded into the included. Spot ETFs signal a turning point in how crypto fits into the global financial system. They mark the inflection point where crypto stopped being an outsider and became an integrated component of the financial establishment. For anyone building next-generation financial infrastructure, this moment represents a fundamental validation of the path forward. Subscribe to our channel for insights on the evolving digital asset landscape. And if you have questions about how these changes impact the broader crypto ecosystem, drop them in the comments below.
There you go. Wow. And this came out, I think last week. And just gets me thinking that they are laying these crumbs. They are showing us the way. And it's a matter of finding it and finding the research, the data that supports. Now, Stronghold have been known to put out these videos in a suggestive way. So very, very interesting. Now, so let's have a quick look at these transactions. So as we can see here, Stronghold SHX.ETH. Now, we can follow this transaction. This is what I do. I check these out and I follow many, many wallets. So we can see this wallet leads to this next wallet. So we follow the outflows, keep following the outflows. Then we move down here, and obviously we can see a lot of transactions here. We can see transactions, deposit to Kraken, crypto.com, Gemini, remove this, and many, many more as we keep going along. But what's really interesting is this. So when we open this, and we start to see FalconX deposit. So 3 days ago, $5.22 million. What we're going to do is narrow that down, put FalconX deposits. And then we come to this. And we can see just here all these deposits and that screenshot that I showed you earlier. And that, my friends, is where it's going. So are they leading us to think that an ETF is a possibility? Are we going to see an influx of exchanges? Are we going to see an ETF as well? That's absolutely mad. But at the moment, it is just speculation. Remember, none of this is financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm here just looking at the data, the same as you when we're assessing why we've invested into a coin. Now, for me, it feels like the pieces are slowly being laid down and they are showing us. So there you go, guys. Really, really, really interesting. Please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos. All the best. And I'll catch you later.